with firework free play only at MGM Grand Detroit. Visit the M Life Rewards Desk for details. Must be 21 or older. Grand times ahead.
Because of my HFC experience, I am definitely more driven.
I want to have a good job and make money, but I want to like what I'm doing.
Advisors here actually helped me. I'm excited. I'm prepared.
I am
future-driven.
We're all driven by something. Find your focus at hfcc.edu.
Red Wings single game tickets go on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. Get tickets to the biggest matchups of the year, like the annual New Year's Eve games or original six clashes with the Leafs and Hawks. For more information, visit DetroitRedWings.com. The station where the most important guest is you.
3-1 Indians, 2 outs, bases empty. Castellanos swings. It's a fly ball to right, fairly deep. This ball is carrying, and this ball is gone. A home run. Nick Castellanos deep to right center field. Second hit of the night, 10th home run of the year. The tear continues for Nick. It's now a 3-2 game.
Tigers lose to the Tribes 7-2 last night after battling back to get within a run. They kind of melt down in the 8th inning, and the Tribe run away with a 7-2 win. Same two teams tonight. Matthew Boyd, Trevor Bauer, the scheduled starters. You can hear that game right here on the ticket. Ron Gardenhire is going to join us at 9:02 from Cleveland. So this weekend is the 50th Comic-Con, which I got to be honest with you, I didn't know the Comic-Con existed until like the 90s at some certain point. I didn't realize they've been doing this damn thing since 1969. Now granted, it's gotten bigger and bigger, and people, it's now tied in with movies and television shows and web series and things like that. Whereas in the past, I'm sure it literally was just a comic book convention.
I had no idea.
Ridiculous. No, but it is apparently some people call it the Super Bowl of nerddom.
Sure.
And I actually think, and we've talked about this before on the air, it's a little unfair to the people who go to that because this happens to be their passion, whatever it is. Some of these people dress up in costumes. We mock them for dressing up in costumes. And if you go to a Lions game on Sundays, there are people who dress up in costumes for that, right? So how's that any different?
It's not to mention I hear the Comic-Con people think that's more pathetic. the people that paint their face Lions colors only to watch them lose. At least at Comic-Con you're getting some enjoyment.
You can say that for any NFL team. I mean, the Raiders. I guess the Raiders aren't a great example, but there are those fans for every team who put things on their head, wear face paint, etc. So what's the big difference between that or dressing up as Superman or Mr. Sulu? It's not that. It's just not that different. But look, we are all nerdy about certain things. Some of us more than others. For example, last week I listened to Mike's show, the Valencia show, and they did, I believe, 4 hours on the opening day at Saratoga.
Kind of nerdy.
He's incredibly nerdy about horse racing. Now, he would defend that and say it's a passion, whatever. It's kind of nerdy. I mean, I even heard Roberto gave a quiz about Saratoga, and he knew, everything about it.
Pretty much, yeah.
I would say that, for example, Greg, our producer Greg, you are a little bit nerdy when it comes to Michigan football. Greg, if you gave him a number give him a number between like 1 and 850.
74. That's 900.
Okay. He can tell you within reason where that ranks in Michigan's all-time wins. Like, if he said, what's the 750th game that Michigan football won? Greg, in his mind, can tell you.
No way.
Give or take.
Wow.
Give or take. I probably
Within reason. I mean, you would definitely get the season, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think so. That'd be pretty.
Yeah. Because what happens is every Tuesday during football season, we drive out to Ann Arbor and we interview Jim Harbaugh, and they have this amazing display inside the museum there with a football for each win. And so we always are sitting right next to these footballs when we wait for the coach to come out. And so I just say, Greg, 712. He'll go, okay, Indiana. And it's like, oh my God. And it may not actually always be Indiana, but it's like within a couple. Okay?
It's amazing.
So 248-539-9797 or on the ticket text 97136. What are you the nerdiest about, or conversely, or I guess not conversely, along those lines, what's the nerdiest thing you've ever done?
Well, Jimmy, I mean, for me, and you know this already about me, it's pretty much 90s TV, but probably 90210 to be specific. Like, in every episode, every character I feel, I don't know why I gravitated so much to this show.
I don't either. I mean, I watched it, don't get me wrong. I was definitely...
show, yeah,
for sure.
But yeah, I mean, I just became enthralled with it. I feel it solved a lot of my issues as a youth, so So when somebody gets something wrong, I mean, think about it. They solved drug use in one episode. They solved gambling in another episode. Premarital sex in another episode.
Race relations.
Race relations was huge with Brandon Walsh, of course. So when somebody gets something wrong about the show, not that anybody's even talking about it anymore, however, the reboot is coming back.
Yes.
I have to correct them.
Yeah, I believe when you turned 40, your wife got you a Beverly Hills 90210 cake, right?
Correct. Yeah, we had a surprise birthday party, and it was a surprise, and it was the Peach Pit at dark. Like it was the Peach Pit. We had it at the Peach Pit. Yeah. Good laugh, Tom. There's gotta be something.
I did not know that. That's great. It's funny. It's lame, but it's great at the same
Are you
time.
upset you weren't on the list? I mean, I told you.
am.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When we do 50, I'll make sure you guys are invited.
And Gov knows this. I one time sat down and took out a piece of paper and a pen, and I kept score for the final game in Hoosiers between Hickory High School and South Bend Central to determine just how many points Jimmy Chitwood scored in that final game, just how dominant a player he was.
How many?
I think the final, I think he scored 45 points, and obviously didn't show every basket,
Sure.
but I believe Chitwood had at least 35 in the game.
Like, how did
This
you
is
do
before
that?
the
So
three-point
they
line.
scored 45 in the game, so you just somehow surmised that
Well, no,
Chip had
I
35.
wrote down every field goal that he made, and there's a stretch there when they're playing the inspirational music where he's scoring pretty much every basket for the Huskers. Yeah.
Did you get rebounds? Like, did you show rebounds? I'm
I
trying to
didn't do
blank.
rebounds and assists. I didn't do his plus minus.
No
No,
triple double.
I don't know about that kind of stuff. His PER had to have been off the charts.
No
I mean,
question.
he basically is the only reason the Huskers won that game.
I geek a little on the World Series of Poker.
Oh yeah, you do.
I
Yeah.
love getting into that and watching it. But like even yesterday, so
Yeah, you were pissed off yesterday.
the final hand. So this guy had a humongous chip lead going to the final three, and that would have been Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. It ended, I think, around 5 a.m. yesterday morning.
Yeah, and it started at 9:30.
So this guy actually lost a chip lead. The other two guys at one point had held the lead. See, I've already geeked out. I know all this off the top of my head.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And
No, it's not. I mean, it
and
just
so
happened.
the big chip leader, Ensign, I think is his last name, got the lead back and had a pretty huge lead, but by no means was it over yet. And so heads up, the last two guys had played 108. That's crazy.
Is that a lot?
And then straight up,
Okay.
heads up to end the tournament 100 times they went against each other. And so the guy, he made a huge mistake. And me and Jeff were sitting here during a break yesterday, breaking it down and analyzing it. There's no reason he needed to go all in.
Yeah, Tom comes over, he's like, hey, Jeff, you want to watch the final hand? I'm like, yeah, let's go. It's 5 minutes, like 2 minutes of it is celebration. But Tom's like, look at that. He's got at least 3 hands left. He doesn't need to go all in. What is he doing? And he was pissed.
Heather, are you nerdy about anything?
I think I like documentaries that I watch. Like, not only do I watch them, but then I have to go read blogs, read other articles, listen to podcasts. I get really into, like, history documentaries.
But see, that's
Because I don't know, I never was into it in school, and now that I'm older, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to know everything. And then I just sit there and nerd out and everything. I can't sleep because I'm like reading people's, responses and how other people are thinking about it. And
That's admirable. That's like being a Civil War buff. I wish I would, rather than keeping score of a fictional basketball
Yeah.
game between two fictional teams, I guess I'd rather be into documentaries.
Well, I'm also into my dogs.
Yeah.
I did buy a sewing machine just to sew them bandanas. So there you go.
Should have let off of that one, guys. And don't they have their own Instagram account too?
Yeah, I've fallen behind on
You
that.
need to make bandanas for the show so everybody can wear them.
By the way, Jamie, you're not the nerdiest. Because I just had to. Harvard sports analyst came out with the final stat line of every scorer in the movie Hoosiers.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it right now. How many points do you think Chitwood had?
35.
40. He was 20 for 23 from the field. 2 assists, 3 steals. Braid had 20 points.
No.
Flash had 8.
No, that's...
Merle had 8. Buddy had 6. Strap had 6. Ali had 2.
No, that's completely wrong because the final score of that game was in the 40s. That's ridiculous.
It says an
You
advanced
can't need Harvard
statistical
people.
analysis of Jimmy Chitwood's basketball performance in Hoosiers.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, no, I'm just telling you.
Yeah, 42-40. The final score of the game was 42-40, and you said Jimmy Chitwood had 40.
Maybe that's the total that they showed playing basketball the entire movie.
Maybe. That actually, you might be right about that.
Because I don't remember Buddy doing hardly anything except the one game.
Well, to me, was one of the real underrated players on that team. I think he was the glue.
You know what? Ted, you
Alternator.
are right.
Yeah.
But they ignore rapid fire montages and scrimmages. So throughout the movie, apparently Chitwood had 40.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's whatever.
I'm going to continue to research this.
All right, Tony's here with a sports update. I'm guessing he's got British Open highlights. 97 won the ticket.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. A radio.com sports station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by Bill Brown Ford. Let's start with golf as Webb Simpson has now grabbed sole possession of the lead as first round play is underway this morning at the British Open. Simpson right now on the course at 5 under par. That gives him a one-shot advantage over Shane Lowry and a two-shot lead over a group at 3 under par. That includes Kevin Kistner and Sergio Garcia. Set the tee off later this morning on his first round. One of the co-favorites of the Open, Brooks Koepka, who has never won this event.
I'm excited to play. I feel this is what the big players always arise, to the big stages. And, that's what I'm trying to do.
Koepka's best performance at the Open came back in 2017 when he finished tied for 6th place. According to a story posted to the website Feature Hoops, Pistons officials reportedly have spoken with 3 other NBA teams about a possible trade involving All-Star forward Blake Griffin. One of the teams Feature Hoops identified as a possibility for a trade, the Chicago Bulls. Even though it's the middle of summer, college football focus for the next couple of days as the Big Ten begins its annual media days today in Chicago. Michigan State head coach Mark D'Antonio is scheduled to speak to reporters this afternoon, while Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh is scheduled to talk with reporters tomorrow. Starter Mike Clevenger strikes out a season-high 12 last night to lead the Cleveland Indians to a 7-2 win over the Tigers. That's the 3rd victory in a row over Detroit for the Tribe, who remain tied with the Oakland A's in the chase for the final wildcard spot in the American League. Oh, by the way, one reason the Indians are on the verge of sweeping this 4-game series from the Tigers, they've outscored Detroit 23-8 over the first 3 games. From the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Tony Ortiz. For more, go to 971theticket.com.
Jamie in Harder. And Stoney.
It's just huge.
On 97.1 The Ticket.
Stoney is off. He'll be back on Monday. The great, the one and only, our friend Jeff Rieger is sitting in for him on this steamy Thursday. It's not too steamy right now, but it's going to be, as the day goes along, high of 91, and the heat index will be above 100. And obviously, there is a chance of a pop-up storm here or there.
Jamie, by the way, I've done a little more research during the Ortiz update about Chitwood and Hoosiers. Of all the points scored, Jimmy Chitwood scored 75% of the points in the movie.
Okay, so they scored 42, so you do the math on that. So I mean,
Yeah,
in the 30s, yeah.
He hit 22 of 27 of his shots.
Right.
81.5% in game action. However, he's shown getting beat backdoor 3 times, leading this person to believe he has doubts about his defensive ability.
I can see that. He had a couple steals during the Hoosiers run. I mean, God, that movie's now 32 years old, so I feel like I'm probably dating myself by even talking about it.
Great movie. Love the music in it.
Oh, yeah.
I've always had one little issue with Hoosiers. Dennis Hopper. Really felt like he was unnecessary. I thought it made the movie too long.
You know he was nominated for an Academy Award for that role?
He played a good role,
Yeah.
and I just felt like it was unnecessary. That made the movie a little longer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can understand that. It was
I
a
got
little...
sick of the whole drinking and him going nuts at the game.
Yeah, although when he called for the picket fence, boys, don't get caught watching the paint dry. So I want to know what other people are geeky about. 248-539-9797. I've gone to the Comic-Con. He says SDCC. Oh, San Diego Comic Convention, Comic-Con. 6 to 7 times. If you are a comic or pop culture fan, it's something you experience at least once in your life. That's from John and Royal. They have a big one here in Novi, every year that people love and flood. So I've never gone, but I've never really been dying to go, but I've never been turned off by it. It's not like I go, oh, those whatever, because I can totally see people getting into that kind of stuff.
Not to mention, there's a lot of cool people that are like a bunch of people from The Office were just at the last one.
Mm-hmm.
One showed up. Kevin from The Office showed up to a Tiger game. Pretty cool.
You know what's funny is did you ever see the movie Almost Famous?
Oh yeah.
Great movie. I didn't watch it in a long time. I recently rewatched it, and Rainn Wilson. And he's got a really small role. It's like, they made the movie in like 2000.
Is he the one that answers the phone that's working for Rolling Stone?
No, he does work for Rolling Stone, yeah. But he's like the secondary guy on Rolling Stone. He's like at a desk towards the end of the movie when they're talking about the article. Yes. It was funny. I hadn't seen Dwight in many other projects before The Office.
Good for sure.
Levi in New Baltimore. I play Dungeons and Dragons every Wednesday evening at a gaming store in Chesterfield, as well as follow most sports.
I like that he threw follow most sports in there as almost like Dungeons and Dragons. But guys, I mean, I still follow sports.
Yeah. How are you on your Madden these days? Are you still playing it, or are you as a father?
Nah.
No, you're out?
No, I have created my own player in Road to the Show 2018.
You have?
Yes, I named him Jeff Rieger. He's really good. He's got like in 3 seasons, he's got like 200 bombs. His batting average is like 500. OPS off the charts.
Wow.
Strikes out a lot, though. No.
Where is he in the minors?
Dude, he's in the show.
Oh, he's in the show.
Yeah. He was with the Braves. But he hit 500, but they only used freaking like his National League play. So he was always like the double switch guy.
Oh.
Right? Yeah, so he only got 1 at bat.
So you play a whole game, but you're not actually playing?
But you only play you're
not actually watching the other game happen?
No. It just advances to your next at bat.
Oh, okay.
Or if you're fielding your next, yeah. So Atlanta never used me. So I requested a trade. I got traded to San Diego 3 seasons in a row, won the MVP, hit 500.
Wow. It's funny because my son's doing the same exact thing on the show, and he was playing for the Altoona Curve, which is the team that Casey Mize no-hit in his first Double-A game. Remember the announcer?
Yeah.
The 1-2. And so all I could think the entire time was playing for the Altoona Curve. The 1-2. The 1-2.
I'm just curious why your kid isn't good enough to be at the bigs yet. I mean, if I'm at the bigs, why isn't he at the bigs?
It's a great point.
Yeah.
He's still trying to get over his fear of turtles.
On video games, I had a major geek up when I was a teenager. RBI Baseball, the original, was one of my favorite video games ever. And me and my one friend just played it nonstop.
Yeah.
So we'd play like a 7-game series. We kept stats.
Oh, yeah.
It was the Angels against the Giants.
I told this story before. I gotta find these tapes somewhere. My friends and I played when we were in high school. We played a 3-on-3 on a like an 8-foot hoop, and we did a pregame show. We videotaped the entire thing. Did a halftime show. Went back into his house, watched it, and gave stats for the entire game.
And I think I told you we used to do the 3-point contest on a Nerf hoop.
With the Miami Vice theme?
Yeah, we'd actually play it each time in 60 seconds.
You guys had mad dedication to sports, I guess, before I did.
Well,
that's impressive.
It's funny because we were talking. I remember I'll never forget, we were talking about it one day, and we asked Heather if you had ever done tapes like that.
Oh, yes.
And somebody, it was either me or Gator, asked you something along the lines of, did you have like big hair back then? She goes, guys, I'm not that old. like we were under the impression that Heather was doing the same era we were doing it. She's like, no, guys, I was doing it like 20 years later than you were doing it. Okay.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Remember
Don't
that.
lump me in with
No.
that. Nerdy about Game of Thrones. Also board games like Settlers of Catan. Don't know. I'm pretty nerdy about fishing. I love talking about fish I've caught and how to catch different fish, even if the person I'm talking to does not care. Wow. Shark Week. Terry from Sterling Heights. I'm a diehard Shark Week geek, and my wife knows better than to even approach the television remote during Shark Week. All right. Dan in Livonia, you're on 97.1 Ticket. Hey, Dan, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing very well. How y'all doing?
Wonderful. What's going on, man?
Rieger, this is right in your wheelhouse,
Yeah.
buddy. I am a Saved by the Bell savant. I'm not sure I'm proud of that, but it just never vacated the annals of my brain.
Wow.
Hey, Dan, can I ask you a question to prove your savanthood, if you will?
I'm unstoppable.
Oh, really? I got 2 in my mind. Actually, I got 3. But what state was Zach and Screech and Lisa in when they were in middle school? When Miss Bliss was their teacher?
Oh, come on.
No, what state was it? It was
That's
not
Indiana.
Ooh.
They're in Indiana.
Wow.
I actually think I even knew that one.
Yeah,
Fine. How about this? When Zach catches the foul ball in the Dodgers playoff game, why was he skipping school? What excuse did he use to skip school?
That was the bet that he had with Jesse Spano's brother, and it was a Jewish holiday, so he had the day off of school.
What was the Zach Attack's #1 hit?
Oh, come on, Friends Forever.
Dan.
All right, Dan, it's time for you to ask him one.
Okay. Let's see. I'm not gonna delve into the college years.
Yeah, college
that never happened.
What was that, Mike Golick or his brother?
His brother, Bob Golick.
That was his brother, Bob.
Yeah.
Okay, Rieger.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, what was the name of the teacher that the kids in middle school? They had a big test, and the kids in middle school, he talked really fast. I'll even tell you he was the Micro Machine guy, and they all end up failing the test. Do you remember the name of?
I remember the episode. I do not remember the name. Damn, you got me,
Mr. Testaverde.
Oh, you're right. That is true. He's absolutely Dan. Dan, you're impressive.
Dan, do you know last year we were Stoney and I were interviewing Harbaugh before the Ohio State game. We finished the interview and Harbaugh leaves and Stoney turns to me and goes, "You just called Dwayne Haskins Dennis," and I said, "I did," and I realized that's Mr. Belding. I called Dwayne Haskins Dennis Haskins, and I didn't feel that bad about it, especially because Harbaugh was on Saved by the Bell. All right, Dan, thanks, man. Appreciate it, man.
Damn.
Have a good day. Dan.
Wow.
All right,
Tom's such a snake, by the way. You're such a snake.
Because you always oversell.
You are such
everything.
a snake.
I never heard
And
him
you're
oversell
never-
Saved by the Bell.
And you're never as good as you say you are.
No. Anything in life, I agree, but my goodness, come on, you're such a snake.
You oversold the turtle yesterday.
I think you don't know. You didn't see the turtle.
But look, if Dan had stumped him on 90210, Jeff didn't say he was an expert in Saved by the Bell. He said he was an expert in 90210. Now, if somebody wanted to call in and stump Jeff on 90210, that would be interesting.
What jersey number did Harbaugh wear?
A 7, 4, 2. We're not doing this again.
The two grand slam. I think the Rieger Michigan football 2 grand slam. Oh, man. Coming up next, the actual 2 grand slam at 7:25. That's on 97.1 The Ticket.
Well, Todd Wenzel Buick GMC is celebrating Independence Day all month long with their huge sign and drive sales event going on now through the end of the month. 0 down, 0 security deposit. Only your first month payment is due at signing, so there's really no better time to buy than right now. Take advantage of fantastic lease deals going on at Todd Wenzel Buick GMC, where you can lease a Buick Encore for just $159 a month with 0 down and 0 security deposit. All fees and taxes are included. All you need is your first payment. Or if an SUV is more your style, you can lease a beautiful Buick Enclave for only $239 a month with only your first month payment due at signing. All fees and taxes are included. So if you're in need of a new vehicle, now is the time to head to Todd Wenzel Buick GMC in Westland. I've had the opportunity to actually go and spend some time with the fantastic team there, and they're going to treat you just like family, and they're going to make your car buying experience a great one. Todd Wenzel Buick GMC is conveniently located at the corner of Ford and Wayne Road in Westland, or you can go online and shop their entire inventory at toddwenzelwestland.com. Todd Wenzel Buick GMC is open this Saturday for sales from 10 to 3 and for service from 9 to 2. Todd Wenzel Buick GMC.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
This report brought to you by Henry Ford College. Crews are still trying to clear up an accident investigation. County Line Road is closed in Macomb County between 27 and 28 Mile Road until further notice. Meantime, in Dearborn, there's reports of a disabled vehicle, Ford Road eastbound at Evergreen, blocking the left lane. Henry Ford College will guide you and direct you in the right way, even if you might not know what you want to do or where you want to go. A new semester starts soon. Go to hfcc.edu today and start focusing on your future. Henry Ford College, future driven. I'm Michelle Pena on the WWJ 24-hour traffic center.
You've got a question? We've got an opinion.
The next time you're in Vegas, head to the D Las Vegas. It's not on the Strip. It's in downtown Vegas. The odds are better, the party's bigger, and you'll feel right at home. Book your stay today at thed.com. The D Las Vegas, your home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
It's summer, and right now is the perfect time to catch up and dine out with your MasterCard.
It's me, your college roommate. We used to share everything. A room, groceries, your toothbrush sometimes when you weren't home. But these days, we can't find the time to share a bite.
You were in my wedding party, but we've rescheduled a single dinner 14 times. It shouldn't be this hard to get fajitas together. It just shouldn't.
Now is the time to catch up. From July 1st through August 15th, when you dine out and spend $10 or more on your DFCU Financial Debit MasterCard at a qualifying U.S. restaurant, MasterCard will donate 1 precious cent to Stand Up to Cancer, or
sells Kaiser, the most reliable air compressors in the world. Call Air Center at 800-AIR-2959 or visit teamaircenter.com. Air Center and Kaiser, run strong.
We apologize for this Walmart grocery pickup commercial. Because while you can't see the groceries I'll describe, my words may make your stomach growl loud. Get the baby carrots you crunch and the sweet ripe berries that make your mouth water. And now you can order online and get free curbside pickup, freshness guaranteed. So pick up these delicious things without even leaving your car. Sorry, that was my stomach. Walmart grocery pickup, $30 minimum. Restrictions apply. If you're not happy with your order, contact customer care for a refund.
Tomorrow night, 7 till 9, 97.1 The Ticket's Jeff Rieger will be at the 5th Avenue Ballroom in Novi. You could win a spot to play on the Miller Lite Field of Dreams Wednesday, September 18th. Stop by for all the specials and fun. Get more at 971theticket.com. Have an opinion? Text us now on the Ticket Text at 97136. Ticket Text brought to you by the LaFontaine Automotive Group, home of the family team. Find over 5,000 new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs at familydeal.com. The Detroit Tigers play the Cleveland Indians. Pre-game tonight at 6:45 on 97.1 The Ticket.
3-1, nowhere to put him. The pitch, swinging a shot off the glove, but Castro trickles into left. That will score 2. Freeman in, Naquin right behind him. Over to third goes Lindor. Could have been 2. It was a scorcher, but Castro couldn't grab it, and the Indians take a 2-0 lead.
Jamie and Stoney Show on 97.1 The Ticket. We are moments away from the 2 Grand Slam at, all right.
I know who he looks like. We just had to face that with Jamie. You look like Bill O'Reilly.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
Bill O'Reilly.
So yesterday,
really
when I was off and you and Leach were here, and you guys with Heather were playing around with the Face app, which is this thing that's been going around for the last, it's been around for a while, but the last 24, 48 hours it's gone completely viral with LeBron, Steph Curry. I've seen it with Matthew Stafford.
Everyone. Kim Kardashian, the Jonas Brothers.
What's that?
Even Mike and the Minions did.
Did they really? I haven't seen theirs.
I mean, he opened up his show talking about it, saying that he thought it'd be fun if they could guess which one looked the worst.
And who was it?
I mean, I didn't continue to listen. I had to do some.
Of course, if Mike did, they all did. I would guess Roberto.
I would guess Roberto would as well.
Is this what your father looks like? Do you look like your dad?
Yeah. Yeah, I look like my dad. I look a lot like my dad.
Oh my
Does
gosh.
your dad look like that?
This is fabulous.
And my dad has reddish hair. He's even into his 80s. He's kept his, it's light now, but it's still kind of reddish hair.
I actually just saw Roberto's. He looks a little bit like Jerry Sandusky.
Nice.
Wow.
So when is it just going to not do it and just say this person is dead? Like, remember we were joking yesterday with Leach. Like, I go, Dan, I don't know if you want to see it. It might just be like a ghost or a tombstone.
Yeah.
Just nothing, just dust.
Whether it predicts the next 20 years of your life.
Well,
Is that it?
it's supposed to be 50.
It's supposed to be 50.
Right. So
That's supposed to add 50 years to your life?
yeah, so you look pretty good for, I would assume, in your 90s.
This is
I would be
great.
in my 90s, yes.
Yeah, you look good.
Yeah, somebody did it yesterday. I don't know who did it. They took a picture. They took one of the photos of me and Stoney together, but I didn't do it with me. But they did do it with Stoney, and he definitely looked a little bit older. All right, so can you put that up somewhere so people can see that one?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep,
Okay,
I do.
good.
You agree, Bill O'Reilly. You look exactly like him.
I gotta look at it again.
It's a pretty great photo.
Thanks, Heather. I appreciate that.
Sure, Jay. Can you see it? Am I wrong?
I look like a Vulcan, except I'm smiling. I mean, I don't know.
You look like an old man.
I know.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's fabulous.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll do the 2 Grand Slam coming up in just a minute. Real quick mention, you may have seen this yesterday, but David Price, the former Tiger, is now rekindling his battle with Dennis Eckersley, which is ridiculous. Eckersley was the subject of a feature in the Boston Globe, which I actually read, and he did bring up the David Price thing, because he said, I don't even know what that was about. I really don't care. I don't think he cares, whatever. And then David Price comes back at him again. It's like, geez, relax. But one of the things that Eckersley mentioned in there is that Kirk Gibson approached him a couple years ago when Gibby was first diagnosed with Parkinson's. And he goes, look, I've been kind of trying to make amends with a lot of the people in my past who I feel I owe apologies to. And he apologized to Eckersley for how he rounded the bases after hitting the home run in the 1988 World Series. And Eckersley's like, are you kidding me? Like, it never even dawned on me. And Gibby really felt like he had somehow showed Eckersley up as he rounded the bases. And Eckersley was like, because Eckersley famously would shoot guys after he struck them out, point at them, whatever. And he's like, I would have been dancing all around the bases. I mean, of all the things I think about that home run by Gibson, the last thing I thought was that in any way, shape, or form it was him showing him up.
No, it was cool. It was emotional. It was in the moment. I mean, what's next? Jose Bautista's going to apologize for the bat flip?
But I mean, the bat flip was a little bit over the top.
It was a playoff bomb.
Oh, no, I agree.
Totally understandable.
I didn't have a problem with the bat flip, but I can understand why some people would. I've never heard anybody point to the Gibson fist pump and say, oh, he's showing up the pitcher there. That was unbelievable. All right, speaking of unbelievable, it's time for the 2 Grand Slam.
It's the Jamie and Stoney 2 Grand Slam. Your chance to win $2,000 in 60 seconds. Brought to you by Genesis Credit Union.
That's right, the 2 Grand Slam. On 97.1 The Ticket, your chance to win $2,000. Fathers, sons, mothers, daughters, grandfathers, grandkids, uncles, nephews, nieces, aunts, they all get together. Wow. They gather around the radio as a family, and they play along to the 2 Grand Slam. I bet you right now there's a father and his son driving in their car on their way to a baseball tournament listening to the 2 Grand Slam.
So, I would agree, but, like, I'm trying to play Stoney here. Like, if this person, whoever it is that you're about to bring on, if he doesn't get 7, I think, kind of a failure, right?
Oh, no.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
A failure?
There's the pressure.
Yeah.
And his name is James from Huntington Woods. Hello, James.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
How does it make you feel to be called potentially a failure by Jeff Rieger, a man who's afraid of turtles?
I've heard it before, just not from Rieger.
Yeah, James, I mean, listen, I've been called a failure many times, so.
Yeah.
All right, James, you know the deal, right?
Yeah.
10 questions, 60 seconds. If you get them all right, you win $2,000. We will give you $25 for each correct answer. We're not going to tell you if you got an answer right or wrong. We'll simply move on to the next question. And if you're not sure, pass. And if time permits, we'll come back to it, all right?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. James sounds sharp. I don't think that James is going to be a failure.
No, he's going to get 7 or more. No question.
All right, the clock will start when I start asking the first question. James, are you ready?
Yeah.
What's the capital of Virginia?
Richmond.
Tom Brady wore this jersey number at Michigan.
10.
What's the Virginia Tech nickname?
Hokies.
Derrick Rose played at this college.
Memphis.
Tiger Woods played golf at this college.